Today I'm going to talk about some of the projects we've been up to. The weather's getting better, so we're happy to be wrapping up our projects on the inside. Next question is, how many of you are really not happy about the bathroom sink in your trailer? We have a Grand Design 315 RLTS, and the sink is so small that Brent can't put both of his hands in there to wash his face, and his hands just don't fit underneath the tap. So we decided to switch it out. Would you like to see what we've done? In case you don't remember what the bathroom used to look like, here's a clip on that. We are changing our bathroom just a little bit. We're getting a new sink because so done with the little tiny sink, and we are going to get rid of the paper that's, well, we're going to cover up the paper that's there, and we're going to change the colors. This is what our bathroom looks like right now. Okay, so tight space. Got the brown cupboards, probably should have cleaned the mirror, and the tan, brown, whatever color you want to call that, wall covering, and then we've got the little sink. So we're going to put a rectangle sink in that spot, and a nice waterfall fountain, and the cupboards are going to change color. Haven't quite decided what color we're going to go with. I'm leaning towards some shade of gray. The doors will come off and we will be doing some changes. That's what's going to happen with our little tiny bathroom. We're just going to make it a little more flattering. Stay tuned and we'll show you how it looks after. We made the decision to paint out our cabinets from brown to, we're doing a nice soft gray. We also did some wallpaper, some peel and stick wallpaper, as you can see behind me, and we are in the process of finishing up the changes to the bathroom. We have a new sink, we're waiting on a faucet, but in the meantime I'm painting out the cabinets. So today I'm doing the second coat. I've done a prime and one coat on 3 of the doors, and doing this in a trailer is a little bit interesting because you have nowhere to put anything. We did the sanding out in the storage trailer, who Brent affectionately calls Cooter, and well, this is what I'm dealing with in the middle of our living area. We have the island, and I had started off with having newspaper on the island and then painting on there, and then to dry them we needed to make dinner, so we brought the laundry rack, which we had just emptied, and now the laundry rack is being used for a drying station. Problem with painting right on top of the newspaper is this: the paint actually sticks to the newspaper. So Brent's like, why don't you put some of those little 2x4s that I have outside underneath them? So today I'm going to clean up a half a dozen of these 2x4s, and then they're just like 18 inches long or something like that, and put the newspaper down, put the 2x4s down, and paint on top of that so it doesn't stick. The other project for today is I'm going to, so we've got the door off the cabinet. I'm going to take out the drawers, empty them out into boxes, and then I'm going to prime and paint the drawers and that cabinet. We still have the old sink because we're waiting on that faucet, and yeah, right now we're using the bathroom to dry all the towels I use to dry off the dogs. So, and we've got the doors off of there, so I've painted that. The process will continue and we will show you it all when it's complete. I just wanted to share that doing this in a trailer is not the easiest task because you very quickly run out of space to put stuff.
One little thing I'd like to share with you today, partway through a little project. And the main issue in this project is this bathroom sink. They're so tiny, you can barely get your hands in, even to wash your face, brush your teeth. We've been in the rig for 1.5 years, and we decided it's time to get rid of that and this little plastic piece of stuff. I don't want to swear. That served us fine. It was just always squeaky, just cheap plastic. We got sick and tired of it. And this is what we've gone to. I've got the vessel sink already installed. Well, it's sitting where it's going to be. I still have to caulk the bottom of it and attach it physically. This is going to be our new faucet. I have an issue with drilling a hole back there right now. My drill just doesn't quite work, as I need a drill with a chuck that will hook onto the hole driller that I have. But that's what I've been up to, or what we've been up to. You can see a few changes that Miriam's made as well.
Working in a small space definitely comes with its challenges. As you can see, we did the peel and stick wallpaper, which beside the counter here and then behind where the camera is, Brent helped me at that because it goes right to the roof, and it was just a little too challenging for me to do it all the way. So we did a full sheet down the length of the wall all the way to the floor. The pieces around the sink, or sorry, the mirror, the pieces around the mirror, I was able to do myself because they were just a little bit smaller, so they're just a little easier to manage. We took off the cupboard doors and painted all those out on the island in the kitchen area. So that made it for a little easier there. At first we didn't take the hinges off the doors. We just took the doors down, and I said to Brent, when we do other areas in the trailer, we're gonna have to take these hinges off because it's impossible not to paint them. So I ended up having to remove a lot of paint off of the hinges. And we painted out all around the cabinet and the drawers below. Drawers and doors. So this sink, to get the sink in there, we just parked it right on top of where the old sink was sitting. So we no longer have the sink dipping down here. It just sits right on top, and Brent siliconed all the way around the edges so that there's no moisture that's going to get in underneath there. Brent hooked it up to the existing plumbing.
I also added a couple of cutoffs, water cutoffs underneath, which actually I will show you right now. Just underneath here, I added these cutoffs. The water's on, so I'm not going to turn these on, but those will be connecting to the bottom of here, which connects to the bottom of the faucet, as this is the only way that I could get it all together. This is the one that was on the end that came with the rig. I'm going to save these, just I'll take the hose off and get rid of the clamp. But these little guys might come in handy somewhere down the road. But that's the little one that I took off. I just basically clipped the hose off, put the new connector on as it was PEX on one end and threaded on the other end. So everything's going to work out fine. As soon as I get that hole drilled for the faucet, I'll drop the faucet lines down through here, hook them onto these, turn them on, and everything will look nice and pretty.
We got a residential tap faucet. Somebody in the store, I was looking for some help and couldn't find somebody who was working in plumbing in that area, and somebody who was working in a different part of the store was less than helpful. He's like, "Oh, you can't put a residential faucet in an RV." And I'm like, "Yeah, you can. Everybody does it." So we have done it. As I was saying, the peel and stick wallpaper did come with some challenges. around the mirror and the two side walls, excuse me, and itchy nose. It had its challenges, but both of us, we squished in here and we managed to get it all sorted out. I took on the section behind me here in the bathroom, and it wasn't as easy. So what I did is I basically took 2 whole sheets, and I had originally papered over this, it's like a, I don't know, seam connector maybe, and I had just basically done them. It went up pretty easy, except for this corner. So as you can see here, I've made a cut here, because with the heat coming out of the bathroom, and we all know that the heat in the bathroom is just, it just blasts out, and that with vinyl, the vinyl paper, it wasn't working well because it would stretch and it was coming detached from the wall, and we were having all kinds of issues. With this being a corner, it became really challenging. And so I basically took an X-Acto knife and just split it down the middle and then smoothed it out. At the bottom, where we really had trouble with the heat, I eventually just removed it and painted it out the same kind of color as the cupboards. With the peel and stick wallpaper, if you have a corner that goes in, you might want to rethink it. Maybe do it in 2 sections and match it up that way. We did a shiplap print is what was on ours, and so matching it up is in certain spots was a little tricky, so there was a little bit of waste. That's all I wanted to say about that. And here's some more footage on the finished product. Enjoy. The bathroom is complete. Aside from the wallpaper that I aforementioned, that the corner was a bit of a challenge.
It's the rounded corner, not a squared corner.
When we started this process, we went into Home Depot. We used Home Depot, which I know for some of you Canadians, why didn't you go to Rona? Well, we did go to Rona. They did not have what we needed. They didn't have anything that was small enough and that was going to work in the bathroom. So we went to Home Depot. We purchased, with some gift cards we received at Christmas, a sink and a faucet. So those were our first picks. Turns out the sink was way too big.
Well, the first sink we picked out, or that you picked out, yeah, it was just too large.
It looked fine in the box, but when we actually sat it on the counter, we went, oh, that's...
It took up 3/4 of the counter space, so that was not good.
Not going to work at all. We took that back, and we ended up having to order one online to fit the space. We couldn't find anything in store. And then when we finally got that one, the faucet that we had picked out and I'd fallen in love with wasn't tall enough to fit over the edge of the sink. So back to the drawing board. Take it back to the store. They did not have a tall enough faucet. They had ones that were too tall.
They had large ones, but they wouldn't fit below the cabinet.
Anyways, so took it back. We ordered something else, something different online that was going to work. That took a really long time to come. It came all the way from somewhere in the US.
Yeah, I think it was Kentucky it came from.
So after the long waits and everything, we finally got it all done. Hope you like the changes we made to our bathroom. We sure do.
Yeah, it lightens up the place, and I can actually wash both of my hands at the same time now.
And get your face down in there. So that's all we wanted to talk about for this week. Remember to subscribe.
Give us a thumbs up if you like what you see.
And ring that bell for notifications.
Bye-bye.
Bye for now. Kind of dark in here. Let's fix this. Okay. Now, the after effect? Bathroom transformation is complete. The stainless steel sink is gone. We have this lovely sink that we put in. It's considered a vessel sink, but it's rather low level. You can get your hands in there. It's not a terribly deep bowl, but anything that was really much deeper was just not going to fit in this tiny bathroom. So we've got a little more space, so Brent can no longer splash everything. We did the wallpaper and I painted out the cabinets. So it's not white, it's a very light gray. Don't look too closely at the edges. And as I've said before, it's really hard to record in the bathroom because it's such a small space. Okay, here's the other. Looking out the shower. It just has lightened this room up so much. I still need to paint the door. Whoops, that's not the door. I like to paint the door because it was that color, and now this is nice soft gray. Okay,
That's fine.
we both fit in the bathroom.
Barely.
Sort of.